back to my channel, and thanks so much for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is PRN. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of working PRN. So that's what this video is just going to be about. It's going to be a quick, short video. So what is PRN? PRN is an as-needed position. You only work when needed. So no work, no pay. So let's start with the pros of working PRN. So pro number one is the pay. You get paid more hourly working PRN. You get paid about maybe $8 to $10 more working PRN than you do working full-time or part-time. So that's the big plus, and that's usually why a lot of people choose to work PRN, because there's more money that you are bringing home. And next to be the autonomy about it. It is so flexible working PRN. You have no set schedule. You have no set autonomy to work. You are not obligated to pick up any shifts. You're not obligated to see so many patients. You're not obligated to work a certain amount of hours. Next to be not having to request off, you have unlimited time off. You no longer have to put any you no longer have to request off to work. If you need off, you just don't work that day. You don't sign up for that particular day to work if they don't need you. And if they do need you and you still need off, you just don't go in. You just say, no, I can't work that day, and keep it moving. So you can plan vacations and all of that, but also keep in mind that you want to make sure you have the money to cover your days off saved up. The company has nothing to do with that. So if you need off for 2 weeks, make sure you have money to cover your 2 weeks off, because the company would not pay you for your time off. You are an as-needed worker. Next, I would say a pro for this would be an increase in various career opportunities due to the flexible schedule. So if you're someone that you love working in therapy, but you also want to work in automotive, I don't know why that came to mind, but it did. But if you want to work on cars as well, you have the opportunity to do, hey, I'm going to work 4 days a week doing therapy, 8 hours a day, and then 3 days a week I'm going to do work on cars, or I'm going to build my business. You have that time. You can work as little and as much as you want working PRN. So it gives you that opportunity to do other things. And also, if you don't want to work in just one particular setting, you can do home health PRN, you can do SNFs PRN, you can do outpatients PRN. As long as you have a contract with that particular company, you can do PRN in any building that that company has. I would say another pro is you don't have to deal with any work gossip, any work drama. When you work in PRN, you do not have to attend any meetings because you're working PRN. You get paid so much an hour, so companies want you to get in and get out. So now let's get to the cons of why people don't care for PRN work. Number one, there's no benefits. So like when I mentioned with the pros that you can take off when you want, but make sure you have the money to supply your days off. That's because when you work PRN, you don't have any benefits. You don't get PTO time. Next to be the lack of stability when working PRN, because with PRN, again, it's an as-needed position, so you can always get counsel. I have been counseled a few times working PRN, and that's because maybe their census dropped. So some people look at it as not dependable money because you may not, it's not guaranteed hours. Three con would be there's no set schedule. Some people like the idea of knowing what they're getting their stuff into. They know what to expect from a patient. Know the staff that well. You don't know where things are located. That can increase your stress level and all of that stuff. Some people like having a set schedule. Like, I'm gonna go work Monday through Friday. I'm gonna get off at this time. I can schedule my appointments around this time. Like, they like that. They like that set schedule. To me, when I did PRN full time, it didn't really bother me. I like the flexibility of, hey, I'm gonna work 8 hours a day. I'm only gonna do 6 hours this day. I'm not gonna work on Fridays. Like, I like that. It worked for me. With my fourth con for working PRN, I would say you don't have that opportunity to build that patient-therapist relationship. And I would say if I'm working working full-time and having that same patient I'm working with every day, it does give you that time to build the patient-therapist relationship, and it makes treatment a lot easier. So would I recommend working PRN full-time as a new grad? So me personally, I would say no, not without any experience. I would say you want to have at least 6 months, 6 months to a year of experience working full time, because you had that supervision that you would have the supervision that you need. You would know how to work with different type of patients. It would just be a lot easier. I mean, me working now in PRN, when you're working PRN, from what I have experienced, again, when you get there, the rehab director is like, this is your schedule, start trying to just give you a schedule and you're on your own. And some places I go to, they don't even print my schedule out for me. I'm expected to log onto the computer and know how to go into the system and print my schedule out. So yeah, you're pretty much on your own when you working PRN. Nobody's there to hold your hand. But I do know for some new grads that are looking for jobs, they can't get a job, or they have a hard time getting a full-time job, and they are only offered a PRN position. And if you come into that situation and that's the only thing you can get, is that's the only job that's offering you anything, and they can only offer you PRN, and you really want to start working, I would say go for it. They may be a little bit easier on, because they know that you don't have any experience, and they may walk you through it. But for me, coming in working PRN with 6 months of experience under my belt, nobody walked me through it. It was orientation for one day, and next thing I knew, I was getting calls from different buildings like, hey, can you work this weekend? Can you work this day? And when I went into work, they expected me to know how to log into the computer, go in and print my schedule, and they just sent me off. I was on the floor. Nobody was there to help me. Now, if I had a question, I could ask like one of the workers there, ask a staff member, and they would help me, but they weren't there beside me with the treatment sessions. So I would say, yeah, that's something to consider when working PRN as a new grad with no experience at all. If you can, I would really try to get a part-time or full-time job. But in this climate, I know it's really hard to land a full-time and part-time job, and they may only be able to offer you PRN. And if you're ready to start and you cannot wait any longer, I would say go for it. I have classmates that their first job was working PRN, and my friend, who is a coder also, her first job was PRN, and she worked PRN with that company for about 7 months, and then they finally offered her a full-time position when it came available. So yeah, like I said, you can start at PRN if there's nothing else out there to offer you full-time or part-time, and they can only offer you PRN, go for it. They may end up offering you a full-time position a few months down the line. You never know. So that's the gist of things of what PRN is. If you have any questions about it, please be sure to comment below, and I will get back with you soon. That's all I have for this video. I will see you guys soon for another video. Until then, please be safe.